You were there when Stanley
first ran for election.
How long had you been there?
I started in '89. I was an original Kelly girl.
Oh,
The Kelly Girl Services.
Yeah, I remember that. Did you work for
I worked for Kelly Girl, and what we did was we did the data conversion, where back in the day they used to send the black books to the precincts, lock them up, and send those. We computerized the county.
Oh.
And then we had two shifts. We had a morning shift and an afternoon shift. We did that, and then David needed somebody, an extra employee, and I filled those shoes.
Whatever happened to David?
David's still around.
I hadn't seen him
I
in
haven't
years.
seen him in years.
I hadn't seen him. You know, he would always say, well, we're having problems, and he'd keep everybody in suspense about the things.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But, and I think everybody kind of liked that. But now they know who's going to win, who's won by what time.
I post early voting right at 8 o'clock, right when the polls close. I can't do it before.
Do you know it before?
Yeah.
From the count?
No. We do early voting and absentee on election day in my office, or I use Gary's
day
office.
Like Tuesday morning,
No, I only have like 213 ballots out, so I'm not going to start absentee until like 1. Because I can't release numbers until 8.
So you got early voting, absentee, and the day of?
Mm-hmm.
What about military?
I only have like 5 of those out.
So you know how many of those you got out. So if an election's within 4, then you got to say, hey, we got 5 out, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't have to be in.
No, they have to be in. By-mail ballots have to be in on election day. Through the mail. I have to have all my ballots in.
You have to receive them.
Mm-hmm.
What if they say this one didn't come till tomorrow?
Like the day after?
Yeah.
Nope.
Don't count.
I'm not counting.
'Cause you got to stop somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well stop the day of, right?
Yeah. It has to get there in the mail the day of. So we'll start processing the absentee ballots, the paper ballots. We'll process those.
The morning of the Tuesday morning?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start about 1 in the afternoon, let everybody eat lunch and get my lunch rush settled down. Then we'll start doing that. That shouldn't take long. And then...
But that won't tell the story, right?
No. The early voting machines that will tabulate, that's going to tell the story.
You think?
Unless it's district based. District based, it could go to election day.
Have you ever seen where early voting did not tell the story?
Maybe once, and I don't remember.
But as a general rule?
General rule, if you took early voting, then you'll take election, or you'll take the election.
Is the early voting people the more, I'm going to vote for my guy and I'm going to get there and make sure nothing goes wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But the people that vote the day of are sort of like, I'll probably vote for this guy or that guy, but they're not.
You have your people that want to wait election day because that's what they've done, and they like going to the precinct and seeing all their friends. But usually we vote 50% of our turnout, if not more, early. Because people just like the convenience.
Yeah, I've already voted.
I voted today.
Did you vote today?
Mm-hmm.
You get to vote, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever know Roger Goins when he worked the precincts?
Yes.
He was a great guy, wasn't he? He was do they still have people like that go to the precincts and watch and help people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Roger always did that, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why.
Just like to.
He got a little. I guess they get paid what?
Like election workers, they get paid like $95 for the day, $15 for training. It's not a lot.
No.
Especially for the long day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, people love it, and they do it for the good of the community. So
Roger enjoyed it. He was always E.O. Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that without the sheriff's race, is the sheriff's race always brings more voters?
Always.
Why is that?
I don't know. If you have a contested sheriff's race, you've got a higher turnout. Our turnout is so bad.
It is really bad. They said, somebody told me there's like 5,000.
We've reached 6,000 now, but
6,000 people out of how many?
73,000.
Out of 73,000, that's 9%. 9.2%.
Yesterday when we ended, we had 5791. And that was 9 days.
And tomorrow's the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you would think that everybody should vote, shouldn't they?
They should.
I mean, you could have people move in here from anywhere and control the city because they just voted.
Right.
Is that worldwide? Would you say that's worldwide? About
yeah.
10%.
Well, I called our surrounding counties.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, and they were slow. And then I called Davidson County, and they had only voted 7,500. I was like, wow, this is statewide low turnout.
Do you think people have lost credit in the election process?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was always a suspicion. Is there any reason to lose credit, or do you think it's very credible?
No. Well, I can't talk for other states. You don't lose credibility here. I mean, we know what we're doing.
It
here.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
No question.
But it's up to the candidates to get the people out. Really. And apparently everybody's just waiting. They're either waiting or they don't care.
When you vote yourself, you're like a chef. What you say what's the chef's? What do they say at the restaurants? The chef's pick or something like that. The chef's menu.
Manager special.
Manager special. So would you have a better knowledge of somebody, a candidate? Would you? I mean, you've seen it. You know how they operate.
No.
You just vote for who you want to also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that there were only 27 Democrat voters this year. I don't know if that's true, but...
It's possible. There's nothing on the Democrat ballot. Jody Riggins,
yeah.
The 5th City District School Board is the only Democrat on the ballot. Everything else, every possible office has no candidate qualified.
Mm.
So if you want a Democrat ballot, we're going to give you a Democrat ballot, but you will have to write someone in for you to be able to cast your vote, because you have to have a choice. You have to choose something before it lets you cast your vote.
How long have you been doing this? How many years would you say you've been there? Since 89?
I've been in the office 32 years.
Have you ever seen a write-in person win?
No.
You ever seen a write-in person say, boy, they got a lot of write-ins?
No. And Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and
you get some of them?
They still get votes, but
that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, they changed the law on us now, and you have to file a write-in candidacy to have your votes counted. So if I don't even have that, I don't look at them. It's just people do it, and we don't count them unless we have to.
Do you have this is like your busiest time of year, right?
Yep.
So,
every other year.
So do you like, after it's over, Do you have an audit process, or there's nothing really to audit? It's just the machines, right?
We do canvass results the day after to make sure that the precinct did their job, that you have X amount of applications to X amount of signatures to X amount of votes on the machine. So we know that there wasn't stuffing the ballot box. We do that, and then we certify after.
But you know there's 75,000 potential voters, right?
There's 73,000
73,000
potential voters.
Now that doesn't mean that there's not 75,000. That means that there's 73 that registered to
Correct.
vote.
Right.
How many are legal to vote, but they haven't registered to vote?
Well, our population's up over 100.
130 or is that many? 120?
Maybe 120.
So there would have to be some that say, I've just never signed up. Because you don't have to sign up.
Nope.
I just can't believe that we don't have any more than that voting. It's hard to believe.
And coming off the presidential, I mean, it's like,
yeah,
we're dragging because we're so tired because it's so slow. You know what I'm saying? If it was busy, our energy levels would be different. But yesterday we were all like, we're tired. But nobody's coming out.
I mean, there's nobody even coming in. What, 300 a day? 400?
Well, yesterday we did 751 maybe.
That's not a lot. Remember when Trump...
That is not a lot. 751 yesterday.
Now, the last year, the time I was there, I had to stand in line.
Right.
That was because Trump, who didn't win.
Well, right. And that's what happens. I mean, 751 yesterday was countywide, and during the November election, each location was doing 1,000 a day.
Golly.
Yeah.
You're saying the Bradley County voters will come out if they want to.
They will.
What's one of the highest? Was last time one of the highest turnouts?
Yeah, that was, and I don't remember the numbers, but
it was a lot.
Was, yeah. And then contested sheriff's race, bring them out.
You can't tell right now who would win because you have no clue, right?
I have none.
So on the election night, you'll know by 6 o'clock the absentees, which is minuscule, right? That's not going to tip the scales, probably, right?
Actually, it will. Absentee and early vote is probably where your election's going to be had. Because I'm not looking at 3,500 on election day.
How many absentees will there be?
Well, I've mailed out 213. Now,
how do you know they were? How do you know they requested an absentee?
Yeah, they requested a ballot, and we mailed those. But then, in that early vote total, is the absentee total. So 5791. So we really only did 5,578 at the end of yesterday in person early voting, like me and you. 213 was by mail.
So that's probably. How many precincts are there?
18. I had 17 until they split the Senate.
18 precincts. That's a lot. I would have thought we had like 6.
Yeah, no. When I first started working, we had 28.
28 precincts.
I need more because we're so split in the city. Well, yeah,
Who determines how many precincts?
The election commission. But the problem I have with adding more precincts, I don't have enough workers to work the 17 I have.
Yeah.
You know, we get high school students and they come in a clutch. Because we can work you 16, 17 now. But you don't have to be registered, but we can work you as a student.
Oh, okay.
And they are our lifesavers.
Do you think that that elections will get even further to where people don't care?
Depends on the politics.
Or the subject.
And the politicians, yeah. And the candidates. I really don't think you get a lot of people out mudslinging.
You think that hurts?
I think it hurts. I think people's like, I'm sick of it. I'm just not even going to go vote. Because you don't know who to trust.
They say you're not supposed to ever mention your opponent's name.
I've heard that.
Have you found that to be true?
I don't pay attention to it, but I've heard that.
You remember Troy Dixon?
Mm-hmm.
I miss him a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Did he come by there a lot and talk?
Yeah.
He didn't have nothing to do after work, I reckon.
I know.
Did he come around there and stand?
Yep.
Pull his pants up and twist them up?
Yep.
I really miss. I was with him the night he died.
Really?
Yep. I was right here and he was right there and he took his last breath.
Wow.
He did that. What do they call that? Where that last breath when all the air comes out of the body. It was horrible. Me and Gene Officer was with him. Let me tell you about Capstar Bank. They're located in Nashville, Hendersonville, Gallatin, Athens, Madisonville, Sweetwater, Etowah, and in Cleveland at 950 25th Street and 3855 North Ocoee Street. I've used them. I like them. Give them a try. They're no problem. Do you think wonder why you think Bradley County is so Republican?
I don't know.
Is Monroe County, are they all that Republican like us and McMinn?
Probably. I mean, you got Polk County flipping, so... I mean, Polk County's gone red.
They really have, haven't they?
And they were probably your biggest Democrat county in the area.
And they were blue during Obama, really, weren't they? But
they just flipped 2 years ago.
Obama didn't flip them; they flipped after. Mm-hmm. Is Monroe and McMinn having a big turnout?
No, nobody is.
How many voters does Monroe have?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I asked them the other day what their turnout was. Polk County had only voted 388 the day I asked.
All right, so
about
now
3 days ago. I think
now does Monroe has an election commission?
Mm-hmm. Monroe and McMinn when I called.
And Polk.
And Polk.
And
I called Meigs. I called everybody in the surrounding counties. Everybody, like, maybe Monroe had done 2,700. I think Meigs may have done, or McMinn maybe 1,100.
So 3,800 between those two, to our 6. Mm-hmm. Say 4,000 to our 6.
Yeah.
And Polk County,
they don't have the registered voters that we have.
What about Polk County?
They had only voted 388. I mean, they're in the double digits.
So there's those other 3 counties will have 4,000 to our 6.
Yeah.
So if you're a candidate in Athens or Monroe, it'd be hard to beat a Bradley County.
Possible.
Because we've already got more.
Well, yeah, but depends on the race.
So if you had 4,000, if you got all of those votes, you'd still have to get some of these others.
Yeah.
Now if here's what always confuses me. You don't care about the county executive race in Monroe or Meigs County. But you will get the results for a race that say
the DA's race or the criminal court judge.
But they're running for Bradley County or Cleveland, so it's not.
No, the DA's race is a 4-county race. And so is...
So how do you get their votes?
Oh, it's pretty... Well, what do you mean?
I mean, say Monroe has 10 votes for this guy that's for a district race. Monroe has 10 and Bradley County has 50. You have to get their count to add to yours to know what it is.
Yes.
How do you get that? Through email or?
Well, I don't really worry about it the day of. I just start looking the next couple days. We'll call and see what they did, or look on the internet or whatever.
But I mean, you don't know. You'd have to.
I don't worry about it. The candidates have to worry about that. I'm going to certify Bradley County, and they just need to figure out what they got in the other counties. And then when we all certify, then they'll compile it.
But on election night, when they say this district race, this guy got 1,000, this guy got 1,300, that number represents the other two counties. Mm-hmm. How do you know how many they got?
Well, you'll have to either call them, or I'm not calling because I don't care.
But you're giving the results for
Bradley County. That's it.
So what if a guy wins in Bradley County but loses in McMahon, but they're running for the same district race? Does that make sense?
It does, but I only worry about Bradley.
So who do they tell?
They have to call the other county election commissions. They have to get their numbers themselves. I mean, at the end of the night, if we really want to know, we'll start calling.
All right, so say...
you can take the DA's race between Crump and Hatchett. We'll get ours, and then we'll call the other counties to see what they did. And then we'll
add to yours.
We'll be sitting there with a piece of paper.
Adding to yours.
Yeah.
And
just
then
to
you
see
put
who
it on.
won the district.
Then you put it online.
No, I only put Bradley County on. I don't worry about the other counties.
So we could be sitting. So on election night, we're going to have live coverage here, mm-hmm. and we're going to be watching it.
You're going to be watching my website.
Watching your website.
I don't know what you're going to do about the other counties.
Yeah, so you're just going to show what Bradley County does for a district race. Mm-hmm. But we might say, hey, Fred's winning. He's won. No, you got to check with the other county.
Right. Well, you can say he won Bradley County. Let's check with the other counties.
So if he won, they say, okay, it's over. Fran's calculated everything. This guy's won the race. Bradley County. You can't celebrate till he calls the other.
Correct.
So let's say...
And they probably will have representatives at each county election commission. I've had people do that.
Say they got 1,000 here, and the other guy got 800, and over there that guy got 1,000, and this one got 800. They'd be even. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't know by watching yours.
Nope. No, not if you're interested in one of those races. No.
So who's the one that calculates?
We'll call it. Well, probably us because we vote more. But
well, who's the final say so that says we've added all the counties and this is who won the district? Is there a district election commission?
No.
So who adds up all the counties and determines the winner?
The one that cares. I'm not.
That's a flaw. I mean, there should be somebody that's over the district that says we've added them up. We've added these 4 counties.
When you have state races like that, the state does it. But I don't know that the state's going to get involved
in districts
in this one. Yeah.
Or anything that's in other counties.
Right. I mean, just like the Senate races and the 22nd State House, it's multiple counties.
Yeah.
But that's on the state level, and we send our results to the state at the end of the night. They'll compile it on the
So
state
that's
level.
why you won't know those till later.
Yeah.
So when you say so-and-so won in Bradley County, that's very important. In Bradley County. You're not talking about the other counties.
Mm-mm.
So that, but I did.
And they have to look towards Bradley County because we vote more. So if we're voting 6 and Meg's is or Monroe's voting 3, you know, your chances of winning's better if you took Bradley County.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That's why most of.
I'm not going to ever say that if you take Bradley County, you got it. So.
Because you've seen times when that didn't work.
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't remember. I'm getting older. So some of these past elections is just a memory that I don't remember.
Isn't it funny that we think there's somebody with a gavel say, okay, he won in some of these district races when it's up to the candidate to go add them up.
Mm-hmm. Well, even your local county commission races. Those can be won on election day. Depends on the turnout.
Yeah, but you're saying they got the most votes in all these precincts.
You're
the end result. You're the one that's your voice is the only one that counts.
Yeah, but district races, like county commission district races, just in the county.
Yeah.
People will post up at the precincts because they tally the machines at the precincts. And then they bring them to me, and then I compile all of them.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to know district races within the county, you would have people at each location adding them up, which I won't get that. I wouldn't even know that until later.
But there's nobody adding up district races.
Not big district races. No.
Well, that's strange, isn't it?
But they might. I don't know. The DA candidates might have someone stationed at each election commission getting results in as they come, having the phone going, okay, what you get? What you got? You know?
Well, somebody's worked for 3 months trying to get elected. They said, well, we've went to all the districts and we added them up and you lost by 3.
Oh, that hurt.
You'd say.
That hurt.
You'd say, well, I want a recount, right?
Yeah, there's no recount.
How close does it have to be for a recount?
You don't have a recount.
Not in this type of stuff.
No, if you want to contest it and pay money for it, then you can do that.
How much would that cost?
A lot, especially because I would get my accountant to do it. So, I mean.
Have you ever had one contested?
No.
Have you ever had anybody think about it real hard?
Yes. There's been a couple races in Bradley County that's been decided by 1 to 5 votes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be unusual for it to be off 2 or 3. I mean, in all those things.
I mean, we have a saying on election night: you don't want it close. You don't.
No.
You want a big spread. You don't want 2 or 3. You want 50.
Yeah, or 100. What's the smallest precinct?
Probably the museum.
The museum is a precinct?
Mm-hmm.
How many voters are there, roughly?
Probably about, I don't know. See, I should have brought my list, but...
What, 200?
Oh, no, there's more than that. But maybe 1,500, 2,000. But it's small.
So that's that precinct, that's a voting precinct. That's not a county commission district or like I'm thinking. I'm getting precincts and districts messed up. Precincts is just a place where you can vote because there's a mall.
Right. Precinct is a polling location.
Yeah, a polling location. Yeah. So what else do you do, Fran?
That's all I do.
That's it?
Yeah. I've raised babies. And
how many you got?
I have 2.
How
One's
old are they?
24 tomorrow,
Golly.
and one's 19.
Where's the one 19 go?
She works at Aubrey's and she works for Travis Henry.
Oh, both.
Down at Burns, Henry, and Kirk.
Yeah, what does she do there?
She works in the front office.
Does she do closings too?
No, she just does the front office.
Well, you talk about a nice guy, Travis Henry.
Travis Henry is the best.
You ever met his wife?
In passing, maybe.
She is probably the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Really?
I'd put money on it. It's incredible. It really is.
He deserves that. I love Travis.
Yeah. So, now he's isn't he head of the election commission?
Yeah, he's my chair.
Oh.
That's why I love Travis.
Yeah. We're not stupid, are we? How many of them are there?
5.
5.
Got Travis, Art Rhodes, and Christy Shook.
That's 3.
Those are my Republicans. And Dana Bergner and Kesmond Pugh is my Democrats.
You had to have 2 Democrats? Or
Yeah, we have a commission of 5. The majority is who's got the majority in the House.
Oh.
So that flipped in 06.
What kind of duties would they have?
The election commission?
Yeah.
They hire me. They promote voter registration. They're
missing on that one.
They approve the budget. They're there when I need them. They're really good. They let me do my job.
Yeah.
They're not micromanagers. So.
Does Travis, that girl, your daughter works there, why does she work 2 jobs?
Well, when she was in high school, she interned down there. And then she graduated high school. She was done with school, so she didn't want to go to college. Then she started working at Aubrey's. And then a couple months ago, Travis came to a meeting, and he's like, "What's Rachel doing?" I was like, "She's working at Aubrey's." He was like, "Well, we're going to have an opening. I don't know if she might be interested." So I put them together, and she took it. She loves Aubrey's and the people there, so she still works there on the weekends.
Is she a waitress or just on weekends?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I wouldn't want to be a waitress, would you?
I wouldn't
Can
either.
you imagine?
But, I mean, I guess if she loves the family atmosphere with the employees there. So
mine and your personality would not do good at working being a waitress.
I wouldn't.
They'd say, well, these done hit somebody.
Yeah. Well, my food's cold. Well, you should have ate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. On the courthouse square at 30 2nd Street is the law firm of Logan Thompson Law. Since 1965, they have served the legal needs for the good citizens of Cleveland-Bradley County. If you've got a problem, they're no problem. Give them a call. So your hobby, I understand, is bear watch?
Yeah, I love a bear. I'll go to Cades Cove multiple times and just see if I can see a bear.
Why a bear?
I don't know. They're just cute.
Not a raccoon?
No, I like those too. I love any kind of critter, but I just love a bear.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Both. I got 3 dogs and 3 cats.
Cats have different personalities than dogs,
They do.
Don't they?
They do.
Have you ever wondered why a cat will not answer to its name?
Well, sometimes they will.
Do you know a cat can only see black and red, I believe?
They say dogs can only see black and white, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but I believe cats can only see red. Because if you see something red, a cat will stare at you. But cats have so different of a personality. It's just...
It's true. I mean, they're not needy like a dog.
Not at all.
Not at all. But now I've got one that is very needy. Sometimes.
Does she meow when she's hungry?
Yes. I mean, let that food bowl be empty. And she just ate it.
I've got my cat at my house is 23 pounds.
Wow.
And I've got 2 cats here that are just strays. They're outside. They're just strays. They sleep on the porch. They just come up to eat. If I pull up, they come up to eat, and that's it. They leave. They don't bother anything. One of them's name is Jim Price. Do you ever know Jim Price? Did you know Jim?
Did you really name your cat
I
Jim
named
Price?
him Jim Price because when I came home from his funeral, that stray cat was on the back porch.
Aw.
And I fed it some food. And do you know Jim well?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how he'd hover over his food?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the cat was doing that, and I just got back from Jim's funeral, so I named it Jim Price.
Aw, that's sweet.
You know, if you've got 3 dogs and 3 cats, that's expensive.
Oh, it is. My daughter helps. I've got a blue heeler. She's got a blue pit. And then I've got a Yorkie. So the Yorkie doesn't eat much, but the 2 big dogs do.
The blue pit, do you worry about them attacking somebody?
No. He's a big baby.
I think they're some of the best dogs, but some people are just so scared of them.
They are. They have a bad rap, but you can make any dog mean.
Do you have to keep them in a fence or what?
I do have my backyard fenced. So
I wonder if it's cruel for us to keep dogs fenced in. They want to run so bad.
these 2 don't. They're kind of lazy, but they do okay.
But why is it a cat will not answer its name, but a dog will?
Well, now I get home and I talk to my cat and she answers.
If you call her name, does she look at you?
Yeah. Her name's Karma.
You sure she's not just wanting to eat?
Well, probably. But...
Does she sleep in the house?
Oh, yeah.
You have a litter box?
Oh, yeah. Rethinking that, but yeah.
We've got a doggy door. We have to shut the doggy door every night because my wife's afraid somebody's going to crawl through the doggy door. But what about when you go to Cage Cove? You just sit and watch for a bear?
Yeah, I just drive around the loop, and I'm always looking up in trees and trying to find me a bear. I've seen a couple.
Wonder what the fascination with bears is.
I don't know. When I was younger, I went up there and, God forbid, I threw leftover pizza at them before, and I know that's illegal, but I didn't know.
Now, at Cage Cove, they're not really dangerous, right?
Oh, yeah, they are. They're dangerous.
But that's why they don't want you to feed them, right?
Yeah, they don't.
But,
you can't feed them, but
they come around.
They do, but you have to keep your distance.
Because they could hurt you and not even know it, right?
Right.
But then you got the grizzly bears. That's not what we have here, right?
No, we just have the little black bears.
Yeah. But the panda bears, we don't have them.
No, but I like those too. I like koalas, sloths.
Have you ever seen that documentary on Madagascar? That the island, they say there's 90% of the animal species there are not found anywhere else in the world.
Really?
They have animals.
That much attention.
They have animals there that you wouldn't even. They have a cat/monkey. I mean, it walks like a cat, climbs like a monkey, jumps like a monkey, has a tail like a cat. They've got all kinds of species there that you wouldn't even know existed.
Wow.
And they're not sure how they ended up on that island because it has something to do with the titanium plates or the ice age or something. But it's real interesting. They've got rats that we've never seen here. They got birds.
Keep those. They can keep those rats.
Do you think that there's a Bigfoot?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think there's aliens and UFOs too.
More than Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't there be aliens?
Exactly.
I mean,
are we that superior? Nah.
We got here somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the simulation theory?
Nope.
There's this theory out there that we are just that computer programs got so advanced and that artificial intelligence got so advanced and that computer programs got so advanced that we are a simulation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the simulation theory. There's people that really truly believe it. And they say that you can find glitches in the simulation. Like you see a car, like you buy a new car and you say, "Hey, I bought this new car." And then I see that car everywhere now because you mentioned it.
Right.
And they say that the glitch in the simulation is the fact that the simulation is running out of materials and scenarios.
Huh.
And you'll they've got all kinds of thoughts like that, like the one they said was a glitch was that Chinese spy they called Fang Fang. Remember that? The Chinese spy? She was caught and her name was Fang Fang. They said that there's a glitch in that because, two words. And a lot of times have you ever noticed this, that you will all of a sudden you'll start hearing the same names all the time. You say, like right now, I've got more Gregs than everybody's a Greg. And there for a while, everybody was a Steve. So they think that's part of the simulation. Like that movie. What was that movie where the guy...
I'm not good at movies.
I can't remember the name of it. But how do we think that we're just here? I mean, we believe in God, but where did he come from? I mean,
and why would we be the only people on the universe? That's where I'm bringing the aliens in.
Yeah. I mean, why would we be? I mean, if I've never been to Hawaii, I wouldn't know they were here.
Exactly.
I only know what I know. I don't know everything else. But as far as Bigfoot goes, there's a lady in Knoxville, you can read it on the internet. She claims that there's one lives out behind her house. I mean, she just claims it just like I'm sitting here talking to you.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think that life is how we think it is? Or is it just all kind of an illusion?
No, I think it is what we think it is.
Except you think there may be aliens.
Yeah.
Or do we just want to think there is? We think it'd be neat.
Know. There's been mention of them before.
If they came down on a spaceship and said, "Get in, we're going to take you to our planet,"
oh no, I don't
would you
want to
jump
go
in?
anywhere. No.
What about alien abductions? People that have had that.
See, I think that happens too.
Well, those people sure are convinced
that
did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
then Area 55, they're convinced
51.
Okay, they think that's a real thing.
Well, let me tell you this. I went there.
And I really think the government would hide it.
Well, let me tell you this. Me and my cousin left here one Saturday morning, drove to Atlanta, flew to Las Vegas, rented a car, drove 3 hours to Rachel, Nevada, and drove another hour to the black mailbox. You've heard about the black mailbox. It was there. Turned right on a sandy road, drove 45 minutes to that sign that said, "Do not cross." here or deadly force will be used. And there was a gray truck sitting 50 yards away, far enough to where you couldn't see, except there was two people in it. There wasn't a fence. It was just a sign. And we backed out and left. Now, during this trip, we stopped and took a picture every hour just of our trip. I've got the photos in here. None of the photos developed where we had the theoretical Area 51 behind it. Only the other direction. That's the truth.
Nope.
So I know they're hiding something. Now,
See?
what they're hiding, I don't know. But they're hiding something. They didn't want me to see it.
Yep.
But that whole trip, after we got about 30 minutes out of Las Vegas, we saw 5 cars. I mean, there's nothing out there. I mean, you're driving 2 hours like this and nothing but flat asphalt.
Wow.
I mean, you couldn't go there by accident. It was like 110 degrees.
Yeah. No.
And as you approached it, it said, please slow your speed down to 5 miles an hour. They'll slow you down as you get to the sign. But I went to the Alien Inn. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
That's where they supposedly. Rachel, Nevada has population of 6. And 6. And it used to be a mining town, and then later the mining stopped. They had a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was a pretty big place at one time, and all that was left was a bed and breakfast, a few houses, the foundation of the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the Alien Inn.
Alien.
That was the name of it.
I wonder how many people stayed there.
I don't know. It had a lot of people at one time, but when I was there, they were down to a population of 6. I said, where do y'all go to the store? They said, oh, we go to Walmart. And I said, where at? And she said somewhere. And it was like 2.5-hour drive to Walmart.
Wow.
I mean, there's just nothing there. But that was, but I'm convinced they're hiding something in Area 51. Mm-hmm. Are you into any conspiracy theories beside that?
Not really, but now I can get sucked in quick.
To anything?
Mm-hmm. To a conspiracy theory. Because I buy into it. I just don't go looking for it.
What about the moon landing?
What about it?
Do you think they landed on the moon?
Yeah. Did they not?
Well, there's a conspiracy theory out there that says they didn't. Said the flag wasn't waving. The shadows, there's no footprints to the flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that thinks that. What about the Philadelphia Project? Familiar with that? You don't read many conspiracy theories.
No, now if it's on Netflix, I'll watch it. But
well, they have documentaries on those. Mm-hmm. Well, if you get on YouTube, you can get some more wild stuff.
Yeah, but then I have to look at it.
What about the Kennedy assassination?
Yeah, I got sucked into that one too, but I don't have an opinion. But
so maybe aliens, maybe Bigfoot, UFOs under the water.
Under the water?
Yeah.
Are they under the water?
That's what some claim, because they have more. Most of our Earth is under the water, and they claim they're living there. Nah. That's a big thing.
No, I can't buy into that.
What other conspiracy theorists are there?
I don't know. You tell me.
What about after-death experiences?
Do you believe in those?
I kind of do. The people that's had them have convinced me that they had them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know when I've had a bad dream. So nobody could convince me that the dream was real. So if somebody thinks they had an after-death experience, I can tell they believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think when you die, you go on to the next place, or you think you're dead, you're just sleeping till the judgment day?
No, I think if you die now, then you're going to go to where you're going. And then Judgment Day is going to get everybody that hasn't passed.
But in the meantime, they're already there.
Mm-hmm.
Some are in hell, screaming.
Yep. I don't think there's a holding station.
That's what the Catholic believe, right? Purgatory.
I don't think so.
But you're not big in. Not talking about many conspiracy theories.
Well, I'm not a major conspiracy theorist, but I like to engage in the story. You know, it intrigues me.
The thought.
Yeah.
Give me one.
Well, I don't know. I would have to watch Netflix for a couple days and then tell you.
So you don't have any right off the top of your head?
No.
Flat Earth?
No.
Can't get into that one?
Mm-mm.
Boy, there's some people that believe the Earth is flat, don't they?
It's round.
Well, we think it's round. We've never been to the end.
I don't know.
I mean, you'd have to start here and walk all the way around and come back to here. Well, it's round.
That's true.
So we're just going on hearsay.
True. That's what it is.
We have to believe in what other people tell us.
Mm-hmm.
The mass majority, just like in the election, just like in the everybody says the Earth is round, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't do anything besides just work?
Pretty much. I work a lot.
What time do you get there in the morning?
Don't ask that question.
What time do you leave? You said all you did was work.
I get there about 9, leave about 4:30.
So what do you do the rest of the time?
Not a lot. Just chill and unwind.
You don't have any hobbies?
I don't, really.
Nothing? Your kids?
No, they're not my hobbies anymore.
You ever go up to the Ocoee Whitewater?
Now I like to camp. I can either tent camp or I can camper camp.
Do you have a camper?
Yeah.
Pull behind or a drive?
Pull behind.
What kind is it?
It's just a little one.
They got those wings on it, the wings on the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Wings.
Those little 2 wings, those are the collectors. You know, the old, what do you call them?
I don't know.
What kind do you have?
It's just a camper.
No brand name?
Well, I don't know it.
How big is it?
It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, kitchen.
Dang, that's pretty big.
Well, 1 bedroom, bunk, bathroom, kitchen. I mean, it's...
So you pull it?
Yeah.
You drive it yourself?
No.
Who drives it?
My boyfriend.
Oh.
So.
So is it like 20 foot or 14 foot?
Really? I don't know. Maybe 20.
20.
Maybe 15. I don't know. It's just small enough.
Where do you camp?
Well, we had it last year on Armstrong Ferry out in Decatur. Armstrong Ferry Campground.
Before you get to Lamontville, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. What did they used to call it? I don't know. There was another name for it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, do you have a spot there?
We did last year, and then we moved it home, and we're just trying to find another spot.
But how long can you leave it at that spot there?
All summer. Actually, until like November, December, and then you have to move it out because of TVA.
Yeah.
And then you can move it back in.
Yeah. How long, how much, so you can set it up and leave it there?
Mm-hmm.
How far is it from the water?
It's on the water.
But I mean, how far is your camper from the water? Like 100 yards or 2 feet?
100 yards. Now they've got water spots that sits right there, but it's real windy and cool right there. And actually, we want to be at the water. But
so you would take it and set it up and say, I'm going to keep this here the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
What does that cost?
$400 a month.
And then you've got a place to go on the weekends.
Or during the week if you want to. I mean, it's not that far.
They have anything else there?
Mm-mm.
That's close to the Nip and Sip, right?
Yes, kinda. If you come, the Nip and Sip's on Lamontville Road.
Yeah.
So on Lamontville Road, if you go and you dead end at Highway 58, Armstrong Ferry is right across from Highway 58, and like 7-8 miles down on the right.
Cottonport.
It's not Cottonport.
Not
Cottonport's
Cottonport.
that way.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they used to call it. It's got the rock wall.
That wasn't. Now Lee's restaurant was not over there, right?
No.
Lee's restaurant was down further.
Don't know where Lee's is.
The catfish place?
Is that at Cottonport?
I believe that's Cottonport.
Because they have catfish there.
Yeah.
It was good too.
At the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They still open?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what they did during COVID.
Mm.
Did y'all have to lock down during COVID, or how did y'all deal with that?
We didn't lock down. We just didn't open to the public. If you had business with us, you pretty much had to make an appointment.
Or slide it under the door? Y'all just stay away from each other there?
Yeah.
Y'all had it made, I guess. So you didn't have to deal with anybody.
There's not a lot of people.
Yeah. Did you ever get it?
I have had it, yeah.
Was it bad?
No. I mean, no, because I didn't go to the hospital. I had it for about a week. The first couple days was rough with the fever, but then it was just more tired and loss of energy.
Hello, I'm Dee Burris. I want to inform you of a special election coverage we're going to have on The Discussion on May the 3rd at 6:30. I will have members of the Liars Table joining me as we watch the election unfold. Please join us Tuesday, May the 3rd on Facebook or YouTube Live. In The Discussion, it's no problem. So, Fran, what you're saying is, on election night, polls close at 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then by then, you've got the absentees and the early voting ready.
Mm-hmm.
So you spit them out.
Yep.
You go. Put them on the computer. Yep. You already know what they are by 7?
I will. It depends on how many absentee ballots, the paper ballots that I have to count.
Uh-huh.
If I have a lot, it takes a lot to process those. Last year in November, we had 3 different boards doing it. This year, I won't have to do that. I only have 200 out. So that can be done in a couple hours. So yeah, this time I will have them. I'll be ready to put them out. So probably 6, 7 o'clock.
So your office will know who wins, who's won.
No, you can't tell anybody.
You can't tell anybody.
Mm-mm.
They're sworn to secrecy.
Pretty much.
So they ain't. If somebody
actually nobody knows. You can't sit there and watch. When we tabulate, we have to print out a tally sheet or a tally tape. You can't sit there and watch it. You actually have to roll it inside out so you don't see it.
So you unroll that at 8.
Well, it's on a card.
Yeah.
And I can, at 7:30, I'll go add everything together and tabulate it. I just won't hit total until 8.
I see. So at 8:03, we know.
Mm-hmm. I try my best.
Now, WCLE, they're always the ones that does election coverage. They get their information from you, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we put it on the website.
I mean, you're the only one that can get it, and that's public website.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about Channel 3 and Channel 9, will they announce it?
They might.
And they get it from the website,
They get it
too?
from the website. Sometimes they have representatives there that they want the actual printout. So when we're making copies, if someone's sitting out there that wants a copy, we'll give them a copy.
And then at 8 o'clock, you start counting the various precincts.
Yeah.
What do they say when they say, so they have to literally drive them over?
Yes.
So they wait till 8 o'clock, they button them up, they carry them.
No. At 8 o'clock, if they're done voting, then they tally. And by law, they have to post their tally tape. So they print 3 tally tapes. They print one and hang on the outside door or window where anybody, that's where the district races come in. Then they pack up all their stuff and they bring it to me, and then we start accumulating the results.
The 18.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then sometimes I get glitches. You can only use one tally card per machine. And sometimes they use one tally card for all of them. Mm-hmm. And then I'll have to stop what I'm doing and go and bust open the machine and run another one, I mean, it's just a process. And every now and then you'll get a busted machine. I have to call the company going, now what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do then?
We can hook it up directly.
Oh.
Instead of writing it to a card, we can serial.
Because it's saved in there.
Yeah, we can serial port it and get it out.
And then, so we'll know by 8:30 who all's won?
Well, about 9.
9, because of the different.
It just depends. I mean, if they have a line at 8,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, they could have.
If you're in line at 8, you're voting.
That's right.
8:01, you're not. But 8 o'clock, you are.
They have to go. They have to get somebody to put a thing behind the end of the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You actually have. You send an employee at the end of the line and go, nope, 8 o'clock. Sorry about you late. But then, I mean, it just depends on how quick they get there.
Yeah, they could take a while.
Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes your closest precinct is one of your last precincts. It just depends on how their counting goes and how their packing up goes, because at the end of the night, they need to show us that they only had X amount of applications to X amount of signatures to X amount of votes. And if they can't come up with the same number, they'll stay there to try to find it. And there's been times at 9:30, it's like, just come on, we'll figure it out later. Don't hold up everything, but
yeah.
But I can't foresee any problems because I don't see that there's going to be a turnout.
Do you get nervous that morning of, or you just?
No, the only thing I get nervous about is oversleeping.
But why would it matter?
Well, because I'm the administrator.
Oversleeping the day of the election?
Yeah. They just want me there.
Like at 9?
No, we get there about 6.
Oh, the day of.
Day of.
But you can't do nothing till after lunch.
The officers of election comes and gets their supplies.
Oh.
And then they go to their precincts and set up.
So it's a long day.
It is a long day. And then they start calling because they don't have workers show up, or, what about this password?
Yeah. This guy won't leave.
Then they start.
What about somebody standing too close to the precinct with a
sign?
Campaign sign?
Well, they should they'll go take care of that.
Who's they?
The officer, and then we send out inspectors to go and inspect all the precincts.
Those inspectors, where do they come from?
The parties, the commissioners.
What do they call it? Oh, poll watchers. Is that right? Poll watchers?
No, there's poll watchers, but I don't have any yet.
What are poll watchers? What do they mean when they say, what is it, a registered poll watcher?
You have to be appointed by a party or a candidate to be a poll watcher. You have to come see me, and I have to tell you what you can and cannot do. You sign in, and you pretty much stand there and just watch. You don't get to talk. You don't get to object.
Or sway.
Yeah, you just stand there and watch. If you've got a problem, you can ask the officer what is going on.
But what would a poll watcher? Would he have any authority?
No, there is no authority.
So what's their point?
Just to watch to make sure things are on the up and up.
But what if they're not? They can't do nothing.
Well, they can talk to the officer of election.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like that answer, then they'll probably step out, call their candidate or call their party, and then they'll call me. Or I've never had problems with poll watchers.
But they have it's part of our, sort of like a constable. They've got some credibility in theory.
They do if they know what the process is. I mean, I don't want you to take someone from New York and make them a poll watcher where they don't know what's going on here.
Can the poll watcher carry a gun?
No. There's no guns in the precincts.
No guns.
Unless you're a cop that's coming to vote and leave. But no.
Even they have a policeman at every precinct?
No.
You know, there's a lot of things that are operated in America on faith that we think there's somebody kind of in charge of and looking over it, and there's nobody. You ever wondered that? You think, man, there's nobody here to blow the whistle if something's going wrong. I mean, you don't care. You're just taking the vote. You're just taking the counts, right?
Well, that's why we have both parties represented. So everything's on the up and up.
But
so you don't have just one party that could sway a voter. You've got both parties there watching.
Now, if I'm a third party, do I have any representation there?
What do you mean third party?
If I'm a third party.
Like a Green Party?
Yeah, or say I'm not a party, I'm just D.
You're
right?
Just D.
I mean, do you have to be a poll watcher, do you have to declare a party?
No, but you have to be appointed by either a party or a candidate.
All right, so say
no, I mean
as an American citizen, I'm not allowed to say I want to watch this poll. Nobody wants me to, but I want to.
No.
You have to
be appointed by a political party or candidate.
And it's a pretty long form? Short form?
Yeah.
You have to do any background check or anything?
Nope.
Now, what if there's a fourth party? How many parties are there? Do you know?
2.
What about the independent or the libertarian?
I don't know. Do we?
Well,
I really don't think.
What if somebody says? What if I said I'm going to start my own party?
To be recognized by the state of Tennessee, you have to have a petition for that party. And it has to, I don't know how many signatures it has to have before the state of Tennessee.
Like 25 or 25,000?
No, like thousands to recognize. Because I know we haven't, the Libertarian Party I don't think is recognized. Green Party is not recognized. It's really just Democrat, Republican, and Independents, I think.
Yeah, the Green Party kind of died out, didn't it? Yeah. And the Libertarian Party is still there, but they're so independent they can't get any traction.
Right.
So you can't recognize a party. The state has to say you can put that on the ballot.
Yep. You have to actually go on the state level to be a recognized party.
So in order to run for public office, is every office 20? How many signatures is it?
25.
That's all.
That's it.
Isn't it something that if you had 25 signatures and you won the election, you could vote that Washington be moved to Etowah, Tennessee?
Wow.
If you had the votes. Right? That simple.
It is simple.
But yet we only have 6,000 people so far voted. Mm-hmm. How many do you think that will vote on election day?
Not a lot.
Another 5,000, 4,000?
If.
Is typically now, is more people voting, early voting than on voter day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, you got 14 days. We only had 13 days this time because we were closed Good Friday. But you got 13 days, 14 days to go cast your ballot. Why not do that? Because you never know where you're going to be. I've missed 2 elections in my life. And both times I was pregnant with my children. And I was holding out, just waiting. And then I went into labor and had one. Or both of them, actually. And that's how it happened. So, but now, I mean, when my son was born, I think it was absentee. I had to have a reason. With my daughter, I didn't have to have a reason. But, I don't know. It's just easy.
But when I was growing up, early voting was just a day or two, right?
No, we still had 14 days. It was absentee, but you had to have a reason. You still have to have a reason for vote by mail. But every person that came in our office back in the day had to have a reason. And most of the time, the reasons were, I might be out of town on election day.
So now they said you don't have to have a reason.
You don't have to. You just want to vote early. Okay. But you have to have a reason to vote by mail.
You in the United States or just Tennessee? Or just Bradley County?
Well, it's the state of Tennessee. I don't know how everybody else does it. But
So when did you see it change from more people were voting early and absentee than are on the day of election?
It's pretty much been that way for, 10, 15 years.
Not 30 years.
Mm-mm.
When they changed it,
Probably when they changed it from absentee to early.
a year or two later, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Because I hate that pressure on election day trying to get. I've gotten so busy and missed. I missed them myself.
What if you get sick? What if you go have a baby?
I'm just too busy, and
Yeah.
I don't. If you're not passionate about any particular candidate, then you just wait.
Exactly.
So it's important to early vote.
I mean, and then we vote, 10 hours? 9 to 6? 9 hours?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we go above and beyond. I mean, election day is only 12. And here we just gave you 14 days of 9-hour days. Don't tell me you didn't have opportunity to go vote.
And you can vote on Saturdays on the mall, right?
Well, yeah.
What about Sundays?
No. We actually take off on Sunday. But, yeah. We vote Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 9 to 4. I mean, we're open.
Boy, you've got a good job, don't you?
I like my job.
You're very blessed to have a good job like that.
I am. You want to know how many people we voted today?
Yeah.
Wow. 912.
Did that take us to 7,000?
6703.
And we got one more day to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say as many voted tomorrow as vote today. 7,500.
Yeah, probably.
And then election day will probably be what?
4,000.
Not 5, you don't think? Let's say 4,000. Let's say it goes to 67, 75 plus 4. 11,500 votes. That's what Eddie Cartwright said.
Maybe.
You won't go anywhere and watch the election because you'll be here, right? I mean, you'll be at the election commission counting votes.
Yeah. Till I'm done, and then when I'm done, I'm done. I'm going home.
What time will you be going home?
Probably about 10:30.
Do you ever feel sorry for candidates that lose?
Yes. Because they put so much time, energy, money in it. I do. But it's also something I'll never do. So, I mean.
What about when you give to a political candidate and you report it? That's not on your things you do, right? Is that somebody else's job?
On a local level, yes. I have to tell them to file their financials.
Afterwards or when?
During.
How often?
Oh God, they have to file all the time now.
Like once a month?
Not that frequent, but a couple weeks ago they had to do a first quarter, and then they have a pre-primary that was due yesterday, and then
What if they don't get it in? Is there a grace period?
there is grace period, especially right now.
So if they say Dee Burris gave this guy $50, they have to write down Dee Burris gave $50.
It's over 100.
So 99, you don't have to report it.
Mm-mm. I mean, you don't have to itemize it. You have to report it.
Yeah,
but
just
you don't
not.
have to itemize
You just don't have to say Dee Burris.
Right. Those are interesting to read.
How come? Just because.
Just because.
Say, why would that guy give that?
Wow, they gave him that much?
Or that little?
Yeah.
How much is there a limit? Is there a maximum?
There is about 1,600
That's all you can give a candidate?
per reporting period.
Oh. So they could give him another 1,600 in a month or. Now what happens? Do these candidates have to spend it on what? Just on election stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if they decide they're not going to run again? What happens to the money?
There's certain things you can do with it. Like you can give it to a political party. You could give it to, there's a list of things you can do with it. Or you can give it back. You can't spend it for yourself. You can't make your car payment, but you can donate to another political campaign. You could donate to a political party.
Now, used to, they could take their money with them, right?
I don't know about that.
So that's always been. Of course, you could pay your brother-in-law $10,000 to mow your yard, right?
Well, I'm sure that's probably frowned upon.
But that's how you get it out. Mm-hmm. If you, not to mow your yard, you'd have to be for some other reason. Well, are you looking forward to it being over?
Yes.
Boy, I'm wore out with it.
I'm worn out.
Are you going to stay at this job till you retire?
Yes.
When's that? Another 15 years?
No. About another 4 or 5. When I get my office staff trained, I'm out. I tell them all the time, I quit. You can't quit.
Is there a retirement program?
No, I'm vested.
What does that
I can
mean?
retire.
What does that mean?
No, I've got retirement with the state.
Oh, because you work for the state, not the county?
I work for the county.
Who's your boss?
Travis Henry.
Not Gary Davis.
Nope.
But your check comes from Gary, I guess, right?
Yes, they're the funding body.
They're funded, but they're not. You're not. Travis Henry is your only boss.
Well, my commission of 5.
Yeah.
And then the coordinator of elections in Nashville and the Secretary of State.
And that's
basically.
It. Yeah. All right, Fran. Thanks for coming in.
Yay.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
We don't worry in Bradley County.
You don't.